Girl, we meeting up at Starbucks, okay? Girl, I'm getting a caramel macchiato. You paying the wall. Look, if anything, I'm paying for myself, but we meeting up.
You mean at ShopRite.
Girl, outside, in public, chat where everybody can see, because the camera's at the corner.
I'm screaming.
Because I ain't got time.
Camera.
Hey loves, it's your boy Charlie T back with another video. I have here with me one of my dearest, closest friends, James. He's here for this video because we're having our first open discussion in regards to how dating really works out and told with your mental. I think it's really important for us to have this kind of conversation. Also, just give a background, I guess, of how we initially became friends, how we met, and how far we came over the course of time in our friendship. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But also, before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe, also like, most importantly, share and comment in the video, and let me know what you think about my video, any suggestions, recommendations that you have for future videos. How we initially met.
First of all, we met. We met online, definitely online. Dating. Definitely on a dating app, but you know, it was nothing like. It wasn't like that when I met you. It was just like we just connected on like a friendship level. It wasn't nothing like on that type of you know, sexual level.
Like, it was on the like, okay, level. You cute, I'm cute, so let's get it.
Exactly.
Like,
we both chocolate. We both chocolate, and we look good. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We exchanged numbers and we just became close.
Yeah.
We just clicked. You know, you just click with some people. You just know when it's right, it's right.
I agree.
And it was right with you. So.
We definitely was like, okay, we both love fashion,
right.
And we both like similar music and everything. And it was like, okay, all right, I can get it. Like you said, we like had great communication with each other.
Exactly.
You know, we were hanging out because at the time I was living in New York, and then I'm in Jersey, so I was like commuting back and forth between the two. And I was like, okay, let's hang out. And then we hung out and was like, all right, we good.
This friendship is legit. We just spent the deal on this friendship.
We've been through like so much together. It's so crazy.
Yes.
So much like similarities, you know, in past relationships and things. And it's been a year now, come tomorrow, that I've been, you know, back home, what I consider my home. And it was complete 180. You know, as you guys know, my last video, I had already stated about how I got, you know, scammed by my ex-fiance and how that really made me take a whole jump in my life, you know, sacrifice a whole lot of things yet again. I drove all the way from Savannah, Georgia up to New Jersey, 11 and a half hours.
You ain't get no sleep. I didn't get any sleep, girl. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. Okay.
He met me along with our other best friends. He had met up with me in Richmond. And he was like, all right, we're going to meet up with you halfway. That's basically, it was the halfway point. And I rented a car and I was like, all right, I'm going to drive up this way. And your boyfriend and then our other best friend had rode in the car together after. Y'all all rode together. And on the way back, he was like, okay, you got this? And he was like, I got this. Like, you know, you want this? I was like, no, this is liberated for me. I'm good. I'm good.
And I'm like, you ain't get no sleep. You've been driving for like how many hours?
I took a mini nap. Listen, when I was waiting for y'all for a little bit of time, I took a mini nap and I was just like, yo,
so
I got this
that mini nap helped you?
I mean, but it was more so liberating for me because I was just like, you know, all of this happened and it was my first time. Mind you, I had just got my license a week prior to that.
And that's what made me nervous because I was just like, you just got your license. Are you sure you want to do all of this right now, girl? Because we could do this another time.
I was like, I got this now. I feel free. I feel great. I got this way home. So he just sat in the passenger seat,
Hey,
just
I
like,
was just like,
all right, I guess I'm just here. We gonna vibe out to the music.
Listen, that's what we did.
But prior to that, you guys, so there was something that happened, man, again, with him, his boyfriend, and then one of our other best friends. And when they rolled together, we met out in downtown at a 7-Eleven. So we were like, okay, let's go out to eat. So we go there. I had already paid. On the sign on the 7-Eleven, it said you had to pay in order to like park in the area. So we did that. Well, at least I did. I don't remember.
We
if y'all
didn't do
did or
that.
not. I know I did. I paid for what I got. I
No,
got
they
a
did.
Fiji
Actually,
water.
my boyfriend and Brandon, they bought something.
Okay,
They put it in like the front seat or the back seat. They put the bag
That's
in
what
the
it
back
was.
seat.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so I guess the people who went to inspect, they saw the bag in the back seat, so they didn't give them a ticket or anything.
I had all my other shit up in there, but
You had everything. You had also a knife in the car.
we get back to the 7-Eleven and we're like, okay, all right, let's go. Because we were going to go to his boyfriend's cousin's house who was living there in Richmond. And so I was like, okay, me and him and I were going to my car that I had rented. And then his boyfriend and our other friend Brandon were going to his car together. And so I'm like, what the hell is my car?
Looking at you too, I was like, wait, you parked over there. I know you parked over there. And the car is not where it's supposed to be.
I was
So
like,
okay.
wait a minute, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not hallucinating. I saw the tow truck.
Yeah, the guy was just chilling in there.
And then who asked? Brandon asked.
Yeah.
He was like, excuse me, sir, did you tow any car stuffs over here? Like, oh yeah, I just towed it like over a half hour ago.
Like it was nothing.
And it was just like it was nonchalant. We was like, girl, I said, well, that's my car. And he was like, well, you weren't supposed to park there unless you was going to 7-Eleven. I said, I did. I bought a freaking Fiji water and I had a receipt. I still got it if you want it. And he was like, well, no, after you left from there, you're supposed to go to your car and drive away. I said, no, the sign don't say that. I said, and they still here. I said, they had bought something from here or, whether they did or not. I said, they still here. There was several other cars here. I said, how are you going to get in my car and actually purchase something from here? And I still got the receipt. You going to tell me, man, you trying to tell me it's because, I already bought something, so I should have been left. No, that's not how that works. I got tried to charge $200.
How much did he
charging
at?
$200.
So it was, he charged
just to get my rental back.
Okay.
So we had to drive out the way. Like, it was only like 10, 15 minutes, but still it was out the way. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah, we spent extra money for no reason.
And you could tell because it was an independent kind of like towing place. So they was ripping people off from the jump. They really were. It was irritating.
And then when we got there, nobody was really there at all.
What's that fun? But nonetheless, we ended up getting my car. And then after we left from his boyfriend's cousin's house, after like some hours, we had got back to Jersey. After they had got dropped off at our mutual place back home in Jersey, they got in their cars and everything. I was driving to my grandmother's house. And on my way to my grandmother's house, I got pulled over by the police. Child,
I'm not gonna lie, I was scared for you because
I was scared for myself.
You was tired. I could tell you were tired and you was ready to go to sleep, but you was excited at the same time.
Yes, because at that point it was like 1 a.m.
So when you told me that you had got stopped by the police, I'm like, what the fuck? Did you fall asleep on the steering wheel or something? But
no.
When you explained it to me, I was like, oh, okay.
He was like, you was swerving. I was like, girl, because the GPS was confusing me. It was telling me to go one way, one direction, and then the next it was telling me to go somewhere else. I was like, girl, where do you want me to go? I'm almost on this freeway. Where do you want me to go? So the police pulled me over. It's like,
what did he say? What did he say again? You said, you too. But
he was. That's cute to tell you. I was like, is this an interview? Like, for you to tell me I was swerving, thinking I was asleep or not doing nothing.
He was trying to make sure that he wasn't intoxicated. That's what he was trying to do.
Maybe that's what it was. But he didn't even breathalyze me.
No, because he
didn't
smell it on your breath.
I was like, girl, you reaching at this point. Yeah, that was my whole experience. My first time ever renting a car, mind you, of course, a week after I get my license. I had a whole experience getting my car towed and getting pulled over by police all in one night. After a whole 11 and a half hour drive.
Yes.
Like, where they do that at? I don't know. The ghetto. The similarities that we have going through relationships. Like, getting your mental right. Like, preparing yourself for a relationship when, like, trying to date somebody. And then when you're actually making things official with them, there's a whole new expectation that I feel a lot of people naturally have, which we're all guilty of. But then that makes it harder on your own mental, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, because of those expectations after setting, like, okay, we're officially together now. And I feel that based on what we both went through, it was like a complete whole lot. Like, it was just completely
it's like
opposite.
Dating. I feel like when you're dating somebody, they put on this persona of who they think that you want them to be or whatever. And, you know, they're not themselves fully until the relationship you actually make it official that you're in a relationship. Then it's like, that's when the real them comes out. And it's like, well, damn, why didn't you show this
before?
Yeah, because then
where the hell was you at the first time? I was waiting on you at the door.
Exactly. Experience. And we had that similar experience, those experiences with, you know.
Well, like with my last experience that you know well of, like I was dating somebody for a few months, like just naturally, it wasn't actual, you know, exclusive relationship wise, but we were just like dating, talking, I wasn't talking to nobody, and from what I was understanding on his side, he wasn't talking to nobody else, and it was just like I was being very transparent about what I was what I wanted, not exactly what I expect from a person, but just like what I'm looking for, and then what I'm not going to accept.
And you were open about it. You were very vocal about everything.
Once I reach out to that, and then you say, this is what I'm about, at that point, it's like, okay, I believe you to a degree, because then I'm going based off your actions.
Exactly. It's the actions. Actions is everything.
Exactly.
Everything.
But then for me, it was more so like, okay, at this point, I feel like, because it's different when you pursuing that person all out. Yeah. But then when it's more like that person pursuing you, it's like, hold up. You just, I was minding my business, okay? Exactly. And you want to hang out and chill, and then you say this is the perfect time for this and that and third, because you're telling me this, and I'm seeing your actions, and at first, it may seem like that. But then you're playing hopscotch, and you like, oh, now I'm dumbfounded. Like, no, don't act dumbfounded now. Don't act dumbfounded now. No shade, all tea. You need to be confident and know yourself 100%.
But a lot of these people, they don't know. They go from one relationship to the next. And it's just like, you know, you got to give yourself time, and you got to, you know, figure yourself out first. Like, fix yourself up together.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of times we don't fix ourselves up. We just kind of bypass of our problems.
Try to quickly throw a Band-Aid.
Yes, we try to just throw a Band-Aid on it and be like, oh, you know, it never happened. I don't have this issue, but we do, and you got to work on yourself. You really do.
Yeah, I agree. Like I explained to that person, it took me several months after my last actual relationship to spend time with myself and really love myself and enjoy my own company before getting into exactly. So a lot of people hold on into needing or wanting the validation.
That's so true. That's very true.
And it's not necessary.
No,
it's not necessary.
It's not. It's really not. But you were right. You told him what you had to tell him. You said you gave him the real.
What is good for you in your mental mind? Like going into like the dating world, like
oh girl, going into the dating world is good for me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. To be honest, like it took me a while to get to know what was good for me. Like, look, I had to go through a lot to know that. Because for me, dating was just dating. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. In the LGBTQ community, I feel like we don't really date. I just feel like we just meet up, and it's just like, it's true. We just meet up, and it's just like, okay, what's good? So I only went on one date. Like, I'm throughout my whole 29 years of life, one date, and that's it. Like, that's the crazy part about it.
I feel like it depends on the person.
It depends
like,
on the person.
Naturally,
yes.
I felt guilty into like moving on too fast too. But that's because I felt like some people. There's the difference between some people moving fast because naturally they have a set goal in mind, like I did and like you do.
Yes, we have a goal.
To reach and want to do certain things. And then there's
Right,
other people
Mhm.
who move fast just naturally
Mhm.
because they just want to rush, like in general. Like they just want things for validation, like
Yes,
I was
yes,
just speaking
yes.
on.
Some people, they don't want to be alone, so they move on to one relationship onto the next because they're afraid of being alone. And
Exactly, but that's when it comes to key, like you gotta love yourself
Yes,
first. You
yes,
gotta
you have
enjoy
to
your
love
own
yourself.
company.
Yes,
You have to
to.
enjoy your own company and love yourself in completion before, and love your growth and changes and admire yourself before you go about trying to dive into anything else with somebody.
God. Yes, because I've been through that before. Like I met my boyfriend now. I think it was like 2018. Was it 2018? Yeah, I met him before 2018. That summer of my birthday's in September. That's when, you know, my ex, he broke my heart and everything. And oh my gosh, I went through it. You know, because I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't text you that much.
I was like, child,
what is going on?
You alive?
What's
going on?
I said, yes, I'm alive. That's when, you know, I took that time. That's when he broke my heart, and I took that time for me. And I was like, let me just evaluate myself, and let me take time to figure out what's going on with James real quick. Because I was always so focused on him. I got so caught up in a relationship where, you know, I just lost who I was, and I didn't like that. I did not like that. And it took me into reality. Like, I was just like, yo, you gotta get yourself together.
I agree.
And that summer, you know, I spent my birthday alone. Like, I literally spent it alone with the wine, in my bedroom and everything.
Oh yeah, because I came into town and we didn't celebrate till like later on. Yeah, I remember that.
My birthday by myself in my room. I did a photo shoot that day, but it was just like, you know, I kind of wanted to be by myself.
Yeah. And sometimes you need that.
It was good that I was by myself. Like, I literally cried. And I wasn't sad. I didn't cry because I was sad. I cried because I felt good. You know, that was my first time being alone. You know what I mean? And being content with being by myself and being happy by myself. And it was liberating. You gotta be happy with yourself.
Exactly. I agree. I definitely agree. You know.
Oh, yeah.
The last two relationships.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're like, okay, well, the one before I did rush into the latest one. And that was just because, okay, I'm over it. I was completely, after that whole situation happened, I was completely disconnected from that person. But still being surrounded by that person in the same living space, I didn't realize was still toxic within itself. So going into another relationship, I didn't give myself enough time to heal from that, regardless if I detached myself from that person or not. So then going forward, that person, it was less on myself, actually, honestly, more than that other person, because there was some things that I was being rushed on that I shouldn't have. I felt that I shouldn't have been rushed on.
Right.
But I felt like because that person in my last relationship had a certain goal in mind, they pushed that on me.
Yeah.
And then naturally it was just like, okay,
but
well now you're making me feel insecure.
Yeah.
No, I mean, over time, yes, they let me know, but then it's making me more anxious on things, and it's not helping. And you're supposed to, if you're in a relationship, you're supposed to help that person and not make them feel more insecure.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're not supposed to make them feel like that.
And so when things ended, it was just like a whole depression for me, because I'm just like, well, dang, like.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
You know, but that it was meant because it was like, okay, I got to enjoy myself.
Yes.
Like, I really, and I did. I started before what happened, that situation thereafter.
Right,
and I was like already starting to enjoy being by myself and enjoying my own company and doing what, like, getting back to me, because like you said, it's like you felt like you get to a point of when you're losing yourself because you're not putting yourself first.
You have
to. You know, you put yourself, it's no problem in putting other people before you, but it is a problem when you're always putting yourself last on the list in a relationship.
We're that type of people where when we get in a relationship, we give our all, and we
naturally
want that person to know that we care about them and we love them and we're here for you. Like, no matter what. Like, we're ride or die. Like, that's the type of people that we are. You know what I mean? We just want
naturally, not expecting anything back, but it would be cute and nice to,
I mean,
you know.
Something like, what the reciprocate a little something back to me.
you then question, like, okay, I know this is not getting taken advantage of, but it's like, it goes to the degree of, okay, well, I'm putting so much effort, I need to see at least a little bit more something from you.
Hello, yeah.
At least because meanwhile, while we know we're putting forth a lot, we still observant. We're still observant of things. And then we're just like, okay, girl.
That's the one.
Come on, now.
Observant.
Come on. Or even after you establish certain things and what you're looking for a relationship, even if you don't get them right away, what you're expecting from yourself in a relationship, you know, because that's important too.
Yeah, no,
you know, to put it out there and make it known. Okay, this is how I am with certain things, and I'm working on it because you already let that person know what your faults are, you know, from based on your past, and you know, I feel that once you let that person know, it kind of opens up, like, okay, that person can open up to you about them.
That's true.
But it's always a risk because some people can just say one thing and then show another later on down the line.
Yes, you're right. You're definitely right.
It's a whole lot of, you know, we just like, girl, what?
Some people hold themselves back in the dating world or whatever.
I feel like
when
they
you,
do,
when
just
you
based
have
off of natural nerves.
No, but when you have like a specific person in mind, like, you know, some people have their specific person that they want. Like, you want the person to be 6 foot tall, you want them to be light skinned, dark skinned, whatever your preference is, and you don't really explore out of your comfort zone of what you want. You know what I mean? You hold yourself back in that dating aspect. Like, you should be very open to dating different variety of people, whether they're your type or not, because you never know who could be the one for you. You know, you could meet your Prince Charming, your princess, whatever. Like,
I agree.
When you open your mind to different, you know, different type of.
Lord knows, I dated several people that were
like,
nowhere close to my usual type, actually. But then I was like, I guess I don't have an actual type. Like, this is a fantasy in my head of what I want to go for.
I feel like
but I don't
we have a type of what we want, but we don't necessarily know exactly what we want, the person that we want out of life, because we're still each and every
getting to know.
You're learning more about yourself, so it's kind of like you can't
natural.
Really, you know. You might be like, yeah, I want this type of person, but, you know, 5 years down the line, you might change your mind.
Yeah,
so
agree.
Like,
but that's the thing, in a relationship, naturally, you're growing in a relationship within itself and trying to get to know that person still. Every day you're learning something new, regardless of what level it is.
Oh, girl, yes, I would say
and
that.
then even in a relationship, you still like, all right, girl, we gotta keep it steamy.
Because it's just like, okay, this is my longest relationship that I've had, like, consistent, not like broken up where we broke up and we got back together. No, this has been straight. He's an amazing guy, and it's just like, it scares me because it's just like, damn, like, I don't know like,
what to expect. And that's natural when you're like so gun ho on plans, and you then are like kind of like a deer in headlights, like, oh, what's coming next? I don't know. Next? So it's a little, you know, like, oh, girl.
And you're not supposed to know what's coming next. No. It's supposed to be a natural thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just go with the flow. And
agreed.
And that's what we've been doing, just going with the flow. But shit, it's still scary to me. That's what kind of makes me act up sometimes. It's like, you know, my
act up, you can get snatched. You should build a level of friendship, you know, just naturally off of if it's natural, it happens, it goes forward. And that person that you're with, if things for whatever reason don't happen to work out, you always have a friendship to fall back on. My longest relationship has been for 3 years with somebody that I had great chemistry with. We're completely opposite. Completely. However, like, we still had like a wonderful time. There was only just one specific thing that I was just like, okay, this is why I can't work. But we're still friends. Like, I still keep in touch with him, and we still catch up at least once every other month or once, you know, sometime, regardless of relationships and everything, because he is a friend to me. Above all else, like, outside of relationship, he's a good friend, and he knows so much, you know, with me. So I feel like that's really important. Yeah, but even you wouldn't believe it. Like, I feel that people that's been together for like at least
more than
6
that, right?
years.
Like 6
years, or
they
whatever.
Still
they still don't know everything because they're so secretive.
They're so secretive.
You know what I mean? And they're not upfront with certain things.
So just be honest. Like, no matter how you feel. Just like me and my boyfriend, we got in an argument that one one time we got in an argument, and he said that he felt like he couldn't be honest about it because the next day he was so silent with me, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, you're not how you usually are towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell the vibes when somebody's mad at you, and I'm just like, why, like, talk to me, what's wrong? I asked him that morning, I was like, what's going on? Your vibe is a little off. He's like, nothing. And then throughout the day, he was just quiet the whole entire day. He barely communicated with me. And then next thing you know, he had bought me like something from Amazon. It was like a little teddy bear. And he said, "Oh, I got this for you," or whatever. I was just like, "Oh, I thought that you was mad at me. I didn't know what was going on." I
He
didn't
was like,
know
I
what
mean,
was
really,
going
I
on.
was, but
He really was mad at me. He said the reason why he didn't know how to go about it to talk to me, and I'm just because he said that he loved me and he didn't want to make me upset.
I mean,
It's
honestly,
like,
was it your first situation?
Yeah, it was like
where
the first
like,
situation
yeah.
where it was just like he didn't know how to go about it with me, and I was just like, you can talk to me, like just come about it. Just be like, yo, you made me feel this type of way, and I didn't like the way you went about this. I would have sat down and listened. Like, that's the type of person I am. I'm gonna sit down and listen. I'm not gonna lash out.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was afraid of, just my reaction. He didn't want the wrong reaction from me, which I totally understand.
But that's all in the process of getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm. You have
Situation like that's gonna happen, and you have to. Yeah, I would naturally also be the one to be cautious about it because you don't know how that person gonna react.
You don't know.
But it's all natural on getting to know that person, and it's a great experience because then that's how you move forward on. Okay, all right, this is the first kind of situation for us.
This is the first
Are we gonna stick it out or not?
Exactly.
We need to know now.
And clearly he was sticking it out. He was mad, but he stuck it out.
Communication, I say, for everything, like any relationship, is very, very important. Regardless of how brutal it is, like it may come across. Just because it's communicating to a person does not mean last minute it's acceptable. Okay? Last minute is unacceptable. That is where it's different. Communication, lackluster communication, in that regard is no ma'am, she can pay it. Well, I think that is all for this video. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed. This is gonna be definitely the first, but not the last video of open discussions with my bestie James. And I do hope you guys please like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, and comment on the video about how you felt about this video, okay? Your opinions, questions, anything, okay? See ya next time. Sayonara!